Yes, everyone, welcome to the Worldwide Reds Show. This is your host, Sean, and I just want to take a moment to say welcome to my channel. If you're new here and you're new to YouTube, then if you don't know what to do, what you need to do is get down below, hit that subscribe button. Hey, hit the like button, hit the share button, share it across your socials. Hit me up. Let me know in the comments if you're here from football Twitter. If you don't follow me on football Twitter, it's I believe it's WW Reds underscore show. Make sure that you follow me on there. Let's stay connected so that we can send each other comments and stuff throughout the day. Anyway, guys, summer is upon us, and it is silly season. I always call it silly season because it's summer transfer season. So I want to take a few moments this evening and go over what I think are United's biggest needs and who I think we can snatch up in the summer transfer window. I want to go over the outs. Who needs to hit the road, Jack? And don't you come back no more, no. Okay, no, I'm not going to sing. It's not what I do. But anyway, we're going to talk about who needs to go, and we're going to talk about who needs to come in. Let's hit it real quick. Anyway, guys, this summer is when I believe we need to splash the cash. Typically we know it's not what United have been doing over the last few years with the Glazers management and our board. Typically, we only spend about 60 to 70 million pounds a summer. You say, well, Harry Maguire was more than that. I'm talking about our net spend, what we typically spend versus what we have to sell. If you remember, even last summer, for example, Lukaku, Harry Maguire was almost an even swap. So we always sell players and then we buy, and we might spend about 150 or so million on players, but we sell enough to recoup that, and we typically stay around 70 million. But I think this summer is going to be different. I think that it has to be different. I think we have to back Ole if we want to go forward. So Sir Ed of Woodward, if you don't want more crazies firebombing your house, you better get busy. I don't care if you need to use Ed Stallman's. I don't care. All I know is the last picture I saw of Ed, he was rolling into Carrington in shades in the middle of the rain. So listen, the Ed Terminator, big man Ed is feeling himself with the Ed Stallmans, and he needs to get busy. So get off of holiday, Ed. Stay away from the rugby or anything else you're chasing, and let's get some deals done this summer. So here's the thing, guys. Who needs to go? I want to give a list of players that need to go. Matter of fact, I want to celebrate Ed right now for this. I got to give credit where credit's due. What the biggest dead weight in the club, the worst signing in the history of our club, Alexis, used to be Electric Sanchez, is off the wage bill. Inter took him on a free. Ed should sit back, put some glasses on, smoke a cigar, and say thank you. I thought he was going to get some money for Alexis for a minute, but come to think of it, Alexis was on so much wages in order to get him out of the club. And Ole, say what you want about him tactically, he's done a phenomenal job trying to reset the culture of the club by getting rid of the deadwood, getting rid of players who don't want to be there. It doesn't matter if Alexis is better than Andreas, he's better than Juan Mata, or whatever you want to say. I understand who we thought we were getting. The piano player wasn't who we thought that he was. But the fact is, here's the thing. I don't care if he's coming back into form. He don't want to play for our club. So get out. Hit the road. And guess what? We saved, what was he on? Over 400,000 pounds a week. So we're looking at over 21 million pounds per year. If not 21 million pounds, what is that? Like 22 and a half, 23 mil? I don't know, somewhere close to $24 million a year we have saved getting rid of him. So take that and think of that as, well, that's kind of like a transfer fee. So we did get some money in by getting him off the wage bill. So Alexis is gone. I would say I wish you the best, but I don't because you were pretty much an Arsenal player all along, and you're a mercenary, and you only came to United because City wouldn't pony up the money you wanted. So while I take a drink of my sweet tea, I'm gonna take a sip. I'm gonna let y'all just agree on that about Alexa. By the way, if you know anything about American culture, pretty much anywhere south of the Mason-Dixon line, you got to drink sweet tea. Matter of fact, you know how they teach, where I grew up, you know how they teach you to drink unsweet tea? For you radical pagans that drink tea without any sweetener, this is how you drink it. You pick it up, you walk to a sink, and you dump it out. Anyway, let's get back to it. Who else needs to go? Chris Smalling, you need to go. Why? I like Chris Smalling. I think he still has a place at Manchester United. However, Chris Smalling is not going to want to be a rotational player. He's trying to get his career back. I respect him for that. He left England, went to play at Roma, went to play in a foreign nation, learned the language. He's all in. He loves it at Roma. As a matter of fact, I feel like we owe him because of the years he's put in. The way I see it is, from what I read, Roma wanted to offer no more than 14 to 15 mil. We are dead set on nothing less than 17. If they offered 15 and we said no, demanding 17, I think that's a little crooked. I know we get hung out to dry on every transfer, so I'm glad we're being tough. But we also have to think about our players. What's best for Chris Smalling? Chris Smalling is still a serviceable player. I think he's a good defender. Obviously, he don't play out from the back the best, but I'll tell you right now, he could easily slot in and do a job at Manchester United, but he would not be a starter, and he don't want that. So, again, I wish him the best, Chris Smalling. I really like that guy. Matter of fact, I way prefer him over Philip Jones. We'll talk about that clown here in a minute. But Chris Smalling, another reason I think that we should get rid of him is because he's worth some money. So we could sell him and recoup some money. I think Arsenal are stupid for not going after Chris Smalling. I mean, Chris Smalling would make their team better immediately. Why they're not going after him, I have no idea. Because they're going after all kinds of other guys that are ready to retire, but they want to not go after Chris Smalling. If I was them, I would buy him. The fact is, teams don't budge on us, so I understand that we want to be tough on transfers. You know, I mean, we don't get bargains except for Bruno. That was a major bargain, but Bruno had been pushing for that move for a minute too. It helps a lot when the players can, determine where he's going. Also, let's talk about the other center backs who need to go. Phil Jones, don't even need to say anything about that. I mean, I'll miss watching him slide across the ground on his face and make blunders in his pink boots. I get it. Philip Jones is this guy. He had a lot of potential, but he got hurt a lot. He seemed like he was hurt all the time, and he really has a mistake in him. So Phil needs to go. So, here's the thing. Bye, Phil. See ya. The saddest thing was I saw Phil Jones made a comment that said he didn't want a testimonial because no one would come. And that's crazy. Marcos Rojo, need to go. Let's sell him. Let's get what we can for him. He's Deadwood. Love the guy. If I had to pick any guy in the squad that I'm walking through a dark alley and I need to rumble with someone and I need someone to have my back, it's Rojo all day. Rojo's gonna let you catch these hands. Rojo is a nutter. The boy is crazy. I mean, he'll 2-foot challenge people. Love the guy, but let's face it, he's not up to scratch anymore. Needs to go. We need to sell him. Let him move back home where he wants to be anyway. Who else needs to go? I think Jesse needs to go. I know this is controversial. I love Jesse Lingard. He's given me some great moments as a Manchester United fan. I mean, come on, guys. Do you remember the moonwalk at the Emirates? My man scored and moonwalked. And then here's what's best. He goes on Instagram, a picture of him moonwalking, and he tags his location, dance floor. That's what I'm talking about. He milli rocked and moonwalked at the Emirates. That alone, I will never forget. But let's face it, if Jesse wants to get his career back on track and get playing first team football again, I don't see him doing it at Manchester United. If he wants to be a squad player, rotational player, there is a use for him in our squad. Honestly, I would rather have him than Andreas Pereira. I really would. Andreas needs to go as well. Andreas has all the talent in the world, but his football brain is lacking. And so if we could sell him to Brazil or get some money, these are people we can get some money for. I think that Jesse probably needs to go if he wants first team football. Imagine this, Jesse Lingard in an Everton or an Aston Villa or a team like that where he could step right in and start. The guy is commercially viable. I think he'd be a good pickup, and I think Jesse needs it because Jesse needs to be on the field. He's made it plain that life off the field has been crap for him. He needs to find that sanctuary back in the field, and I'm telling you, Manchester United is a different beast. The badge is real heavy, and we're going back to the top. We're signing world-class players. We're moving back to where we should be, and I just don't see Jesse. Jesse is not a starter if we want to win the league or go forward. He can do a job, yes. I wouldn't be mad if he stayed. I'd be happy. But I think for him, he needs to go. Diogo Dalot, this guy's worth money. I rate Diogo Dalot. I love how he plays. The guy loves to step over. If you remember when he came from Portugal, highly rated, one of the top right backs in the world. He could play right and left back, but he was a top right back. Barcelona was in for him. Real Madrid wanted him. I believe PSG wanted him. A lot of people wanted this guy. He came to us because of Jose. Jose had pull there, and he still has some pull in Portugal. And so the fact is, Diogo came to us. I just think Ollie don't fancy him because it makes no sense. Either Ollie don't like him or he already has an agreement to be sold. Because I have no idea why over the last few weeks when Luke Shaw was hurt, Diogo Dalot didn't even get a shout. They brought in Timothy Fosu-Mensah. That makes no sense to me. Diogo Dalot, and listen, when it comes to any of our fullbacks, any of them, Diogo Dalot is head and shoulders better than all of them going forward. He's better than AWB. He's better than Luke Shaw when it comes to going forward. Diogo Dalot is no joke. I really like him, and I think he would murder it at a team like Barca, at a team that has a lot of possession, where their fullbacks don't need to defend as much. Could Diogo Dalot at Liverpool? Forget it. The guy would be awesome. Anywhere where he doesn't have to depend on where as a fullback, he's playing more forward and more as an attacking, almost a winger more than a fullback. I'm telling you, Diogo Dalot is going to have a good future. If he goes to Barca or somewhere like that, I'm telling you, we'll be looking back saying, well, why did we keep this guy? Well, it's because he wasn't fancied. It is what it is. And also, I think that Ethan Laird, from what I hear, is a straight-up beast. And from what I understand, Ethan thinks he's coming for AWB's job. So I think that maybe right now it seems like Ollie really likes to fancy the kids and use the academy because he's trying to rebuild this ethos of being like a junior Alex Ferguson. We need to get away from some of the Brexit stuff. It seems like we're only really going after English talent, besides Bruno. So hopefully we can get away from that and go on the continent. There's better deals out there. I mean, why can't we be the people that find the next Conte or Ndidi? That's what we really need. But anyway, who else needs to go out? James Garner, Tahith Chong, Dylan Levitt, Tidimengi. All these guys can have a great future at our club, but they need a loan. So I'd like to see all of them get loans. So why are you really here? You're here for the ends, right? Who do we need to sign? What do Manchester United need? Let's get into that right now. So by the time this video processes, you may be on football Twitter already reading, "Here we go," from Fabrizio Romano, because he's the guy right now that's the big in the know guy everyone follows. Everything I was reading today makes it seem like the Jadon Sancho deal is pretty much done. Now, you guys know that if you follow Manchester United, that we've never filled the position left vacant by Cristiano Ronaldo. Excuse me. We've never really filled that position. No one has filled that shirt since Cristiano Ronaldo. That 7 shirt. It's open. It fits Jadon like a glove. Jadon Sancho is a world-class talent. Now, I will give a shout-out to Stephen Howson because I've been hearing about Jadon Sancho for at least 3 years. Stephen Howson said at least 3 years ago that Manchester United is crazy for not trying to get Jadon Sancho out of City to United because he knew he wasn't happy. However, honestly, I think United was a long-term goal for Sancho, but City wouldn't give us Sancho. So he went to Dortmund to prove himself. Now, here's what's amazing, guys. Sancho's done things that not many teenagers have ever done in Europe. In the academy, Mason's numbers are better. I'm going to let that sink in. With Mason and Jadon Sancho and Anthony Martial, we have three of the greatest talents, if we could pick up Jadon, in the world. See, a lot of people sleep on Anthony Martial because they don't know how great he is because of things that's happened in the last few years where he's been real salty and real sulky and he hasn't really been at his best, but Ole's starting to pull it out of him. He hasn't been right ever since that Jose came in. Jose didn't like him. Jose took the 9 right off of him and gave it to Zlatan. It was a slap in his face. Jose treated him bad while his own kid was being born. Because of Jose, the man missed out on a World Cup ring. That is insane how he did not make that team because he wasn't getting playing time. One of the best players in France and couldn't get playing time. I read an article about Anthony Martial when he was younger. He was at a Barcelona camp in Barcelona with like 200 players that were being evaluated. The only player in the entire camp to score higher than Anthony Martial in their evaluation. He was number 2. The only player. There were professionals and young talents there. The only player to score higher than Anthony Martial in overall grade was Lionel Messi. That's how much talent this guy has. This guy's talent is crazy. We could have Tony. Now listen, and Marcus is crazy talented too. I love Marcus Rashford. But when it comes down to generational ability, Marcus Rashford is a great player. He is an international class player. That's how I judge things. Very few people, I think, are world-class talents. Jadon could be world-class. Mason could be world-class. Tony, I'm talking Ballon d'Or caliber. I don't see that with Marcus. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully, Marcus proves me wrong because I love Marcus Rashford. He's one of my favorite players. But I think talent-wise, and when it comes down to it, man, Jadon Sancho is different gravy, guys. And I believe if we sign him, which I believe it's close, this is a real statement of intent by United. Watch us. We're going to make the big signing. We're going to go after. And from what I'm hearing, it's about 90 million pounds, almost 100 million euros. And the rest is going to be in add-ons and different type of bonuses or whatever. There's a Champions League bonus. I believe there's going to be something in there. And we're going to be paying some of it in what I always call installments. So, we like a deal. But here's the thing, guys. Pre-COVID, this is absolutely his price. I don't see why we could argue about it. I know it's a lot, but he's only 20 years old. Think about what he can accomplish coming back. Our front 4 rotation is going to be sick. And here's what people don't know about Jadon Sancho because they play FIFA. They don't really watch. I watched a lot of Jadon Sancho. I've been watching him for a couple years. You know why? Because I love a certain guy that don't live too far from me that people call Captain America named Christian Pulisic. I love another guy who's only 16, almost as much as Christian Pulisic, by the name of Giovanni Reina, who's actually at Dortmund now. The fact is, I follow American talent, and people don't realize this. Pulisic was a hot, upcoming prospect. He still is. Amazing signing by Chelsea. By the way, Pulisic is a diehard United fan. So for all the Chelsea fans saying, well, Jadon is a Chelsea fan, that don't matter, man. It comes down to who's paying what and where you want to be for your career right now. The only reason that Pulisic is not at United, I'm telling you, is because of Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho didn't fancy him, didn't want him. He's not his kind of player. He didn't want the guy. Now, if Pulisic was 27, he probably would have wanted him. Jose is an ageist, man. He's got problems with younger players and stuff. You say, well, he played Marcus. Well, he had to. I mean, sorry. Jose's track record speaks for itself. Here's the thing, guys. Jose don't like a young player if he's 6'5". Besides that, let's not go there. So here's the thing. Right now I think that Jadon Sancho I've been watching him. He actually was one of the reasons that Pulisic got dropped from Dortmund, but also Pulisic got hurt, which this is a little scary. I've noticed each year Pulisic has been picking up more and more injuries. He's a slight guy and he's fast, but he takes a pounding. And when you're fast and you got tech and you got skills, and then by the way you're an American, people don't want to be put in their place by you. So Pulisic is going to keep getting kicked, stamped, stomped on. It's going to be ugly. Hopefully he can stay healthy. But here's the thing, guys. Jadon Sancho is another level. And I think here's the thing. This signing could even impact Marcus as much as Mason because Mason's moving at such a high pace and a high level. All four of these guys are going to get better because Jadon, 3 of the 4 guys play equally well all across the front 3. Marcus, in my opinion, only plays amazing on the left. Here's the crazy thing. In the academy, Mason played best off of the striker or in the 10. So he has some ability in playing that position, kind of like Bruno plays, but he's still a little young for that yet. But here's what maybe you guys don't know if you haven't watched Dortmund. Jadon Sancho has played the 10 quite a bit. He has played that Bruno hybrid midfield attacker. So if we bring in Jadon, that provides cover in all the front 4 positions. So it will be an amazing signing. And I'm telling you right now, I am hype about it. I think it's done. I'm not trying to hear anything else. I think it's done. What else do we need at United? We know we need to fill that right wing. And I know you guys, so we want to root for Dan James. I celebrate Dan James. I think he needs a loan, especially if Jesse stays. Dan James needs a loan. I root for Dan James, but in my opinion, he's mostly just a pace merchant. And you get found out. This is the big times, man, the big league. I mean, you're going to get found out eventually. He needs a lot of growth. And I'm not saying he can't have it because he's still young. So I'm rooting for Danny James, but the guy should not be a starter in Manchester United. We need midfield depth. Now, what we need the most, we're not going to get. What we need the most is a CDM because Matic is getting old. When Matic plays at his best, he is a top-level CDM. However, did you guys notice, like I noticed, that once Matic got that new contract, he went back to static Matic? He went back to stuck still, 6 touches, passing sideways Matic? Is this dude playing us? Is he pulling a Willian? When he was at Chelsea, did him and Williams sit around having dinner like, you know what we should do? We should ball out to get contracts and then coast. I don't know, because he might be going full Willian on us. I hope not. I like Matic. I like his grit. I think he can be strong, but he is getting older. And so for me, our biggest need, we're not going to fill. Our biggest need is a CDM. I would love someone like Wilfred Ndidi. Wilfred Ndidi is a flat-out destroyer. I like someone like that behind Pogba and Bruno because it lets them be the creators and really be like 2 8s instead of right now Pogba's playing kind of as almost a 6 and a double pivot. I don't like that. I would like to see him more in an 8, push forward a little bit. So Ndidi does that. And Ndidi's numbers are nasty. He is a defensive machine. Big, fast, an amazing player. And I've watched him a lot, and I focus mostly on his defensive attributes. But who's to say I'm not overrating or underrating his ability on the ball and as an attacking player? I may be. Wilfred Ndidi would be amazing, but he costs us an arm and a leg. I have no idea why we're not signing Thomas Partey. If Thomas Partey's release clause is really 40-some million, Sir Ed of Woodward, pick up the phone right now. Call the man in black. Call Diego. Say, Simeone, we got to have a discussion, me and you. I need this Partey guy. Let's talk to him. Pay the release clause. There's nothing that Atletico can do if we pay it and take the guy if he wants to come. I believe he would want to come and play in that midfield that we already have. He'd be a phenomenal signing. But I'll tell you what, there's somebody on his team that would probably be better. His name's Saul Niguez. No way we could get Saul. He's been linked to us before. It would be an amazing pickup. Saul is, to me, that next evolution of what we think and thought Ander Herrera was. He's got bite, he's got steel, he's got a little bit of nastiness in him, but he's way more cultured on the ball. Sal would be it, but that's a pipe dream not happening. But anyway, I think CDM is something we really need, but I don't see us addressing it yet. Maybe not until next summer. I hope I'm wrong. I don't see Scott and Fred doing it. I love Fred. I'm rooting for Scott. But I just don't see him doing it. Scott fancies himself a 10, but he really thinks he's an 8. I've heard him talk about it. Maybe he can grow into it, and I'm wrong because he's still young. I hope so. I love Fred. The problem with Fred is Fred doesn't have the positional discipline to play to play CDM in the Prem on a consistent basis. Against the smaller teams and teams that are parking the bus against us, I say play Fred there. However, when we're playing a stronger team or someone that's coming out and they're going to attack us, and we need that last line of defense to really shield the back four, games are won and lost in the midfield. Do you trust Fred to be that guy? I don't. And another reason I don't trust Fred to be that guy, even though I love Fred, is that Fred's first touch at times isn't much better than Romelu Lukaku's. And so as much as I love Fred, his first touch can let him down. And you cannot have a sloppy first touch in the Premier League. This is not Italy. This is not Spain. You do not have time on the ball. People are in your face. They're pressing. It's high energy, high pace. You're getting kicked all over the daggone field. So that ball has to stick to you. And I struggle with thinking about Fred when it comes to that. So also midfield depth. Here's what I think we're going to do. We need another midfield player because obviously, do I think we will get rid of players like Juan Mata? We should. Probably won't. Andreas, should he be gone? Yes. Will he? Probably not. Honestly, I would rather Dylan Levitt be in the squad than Andreas. Dylan Levitt had somewhat close to 100 passes completed or something like that, or 100 passes in his first ever game as a youngster. Dylan Levitt has potential, but he needs to go on loan. We need to get these guys on loan. Garner as well. Garner, from what I hear, Garner, in some of the videos I've seen, Garner can be top quality as well. And plus, we have a young kid coming through named Hannibal that a lot of people have been talking about, that he might be real saucy, but he's only, I think, 16. So he's not ready to play in the midfield in the Prem. Not at 16. I mean, Jude Bellingham was 16 in the championship, but he must be a different physical specimen. But here's the thing. I think we're going to sign another midfield player, and I want it to be. I don't think it's the best choice, but I still want Jack Grealish. I want Jack Grealish because he can handle the pressure. He's carried his own team. The guy is ridiculous. And here's the thing, Ed, you need to watch this video and make it happen. The amount of money that you would make on hair gel sponsorships alone. Come on, Ed. Think money. Jackie Grealish is going to, listen, he's going to sell hair product. He's going to sell some fancy, crazy socks product. Maybe a special shaving cream. Have you seen that guy's legs with the short socks? The guy shaves. He don't have a hair one. You know what I'm saying? Jack Grealish is a special kind of something. He's got that attitude that says a United player. He's got that streak in him. But the problem is, will he be happy with a squad role? Jack Grealish also can play out on the wings. He can play box to box. He can play up in 10. So he would be a great squad player to bring in. But at 80 million, I think not. Again, I don't care because it's not my money. And you're getting it back in sponsorships with this guy. But here's the thing, and again, you have to go back to my video on biases. It's amazing to me how Jack Grealish, he's out partying right now. While I'm doing this video, it's probably about 1 a.m. wherever you're at, Jack, and I can promise you this, he's probably lit he's probably rolling with 3 different honeys right now. Jack is probably naked while I'm talking. The guy is living it up. He's young, crazy, having a good time. I'm not mad at you, right? Live your life, bro. Live your life. But I'm sick and tired of people acting like Pogba's a problem. The guy has a child. The guy don't go out. The guy dances at a wedding. And people act like he's a problem. Calm down. Now, calm down with your bias. Jack Grealish, listen, sponsorship deals, ability, attitude, Looks like he went. And listen, we get penalties anyway. Jack Grealish gets fouled. All people kick the life out of him because they're jealous of his calves and they hate the fact he wears short socks. They kick the life out the guy. Guess what? If I was playing, Jack, I would kick you too. You would take one. Look, 2-footed Rojo tackle. I'd give you one. But listen, I want that guy on my team. Will we get him? I don't know. I would like to see it. I'm rooting for it. I'll tell you what, a lot of noise is made around Donny van de Beek. Donny van de Beek, from what I've watched of him, what I've read, he's a better talent than Jack Grealish, but I don't see it happening. He'd be way cheaper, probably pick him up for around $45 million, but it's not going to happen because Donny van de Beek has plans to be at Real Madrid. Real Madrid want Donny van de Beek. The problem is, Donny van de Beek is like a Pogba replacement. So Real Madrid know they can't afford Pogba. That's who Zidane wants, but they can't afford that. But Donny van de Beek is that type of player. Listen, there's not another Paul Pogba. Let's be honest. The guy's big, strong, fast, got tech. He can do everything. The guy is a Rolls Royce when he cares and wants to play. If you can't see that, I can't help you. Like I said, when he wants to play. However, Donny van de Beek isn't coming, guys. Oh, sorry about that. I actually just bumped something. Bumped the table. Anyway, live problems here. Here's the thing, guys. Donny van de Beek isn't coming. I would like him at the club, but another reason I don't think he would come is because he wants to be a starter. Jack Grealish, I could see that's a step up going to United, where he would fit in as a squad player, rotational player. He'd get a lot of games. I just don't see Donny van de Beek doing that. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to have him. Great pickup. The final thing I want to mention, and then we're going to close out this video, that we need is a partner for Harry Maguire. Why Harry Maguire? Because we just paid $80 million for him. Actually, 80 million pounds, that'd be $90 million. Harry Maguire is one of the best center backs in the world. Don't mistake it. He's had some purple patches where he's had purple and he's had some bad patches of form. But he hasn't been miserable. I think the shirt's weighed heavy on him. I don't think he should have been made captain. I think he was tired toward the end of the year. He's not used to playing these many games. And I think the guy had a few bad moments. I think he'll come good next year. The same way Lindelof. Lindelof's first year was terrible. People were calling Vic Lindeflop. It was a bunch of mess. And I love Vic. Matter of fact, as a player, in some ways, I like Vic better than Harry. But let's face it, Vic's not getting the starting out over Harry. That price tag matters. And I don't think they complement each other well because neither of them. Vic's not left-footed. Neither of them are blazing fast. Vic's not good in the air. He's not terrible, but he's not what he could and should be. Let's just face it, guys. Eric Bailly is a nutter. I love the guy. I love this guy's Cruyff turning in a box in between players. The guy is crazy, man. I love Eric Bailly, but he's always hurt, and he's liable to do something crazy all the time. So, what's it going to be? I don't see Eric Bailly staying. We could sell him, get some money for him. I hope he stays because he's one of my favorite players. I got to be honest with you. We need a center back, preferably a left-footed center back. We know, Ali even knows that because you saw him tapping up Nathan Ake after a game and tried to deny that he was doing it. But Ake already knew he was going to Manchester City. So the funny thing is he goes to Manchester City and all of a sudden, man, Nathan Ake, he's going to be great at City. I can promise you this, if we would have bought the guy, you paid $40 million for him, he's a flop, he's trash, he's worth $32 million, he's worth $22 million, it'd have been a bunch of mess. But no, City don't have any fans. People don't care. Most of City's fans are over here in America. Or in the Middle East, or maybe some in Asia, I don't know, younger fans. But here's the thing. Who can we get at center back? Here, people keep mentioning this one guy that I've been following. I started following him mostly because of FIFA, to be honest with you. I picked him up on my FIFA team, and he did really good. Dayot Upamecano. Upamecano has potential, and he can be a beast. However, Upamecano, some of you may not know this or not, was on trial at United a few years ago. And one of the reasons Upamecano didn't stay at United is because of the depth we had at center back, and we had a certain guy on our squad named Axel Tuanzebe. Axel Tuanzebe, from everything I've heard, from scouts to insiders to people I listen to on the radio that are talking about this guy, he has so much potential. Villa fans love the guy. I'll tell you right now, if we put Axel in some kind of swap deal for Jack Grealish, we would get him out of Villa. Villa love the guy. However, I am really concerned about his career. The reason is because he's obviously injury prone. And this latest injury has to be something horrible. The reason it has to be horrible is we haven't heard anything about it. We haven't heard anything about Axel. No updates, no anything. It's like everything is silent. It's almost like whatever happened is bad and they're trying to hide it. That makes me nervous. I hope I'm wrong. But here's the thing. Everyone's like, Upamecano, Upamecano, Upamecano. Upamecano has injury past as well. Look him up. Look how often he's injured. He's injury prone as well. Now, would I have him at the club? Yes. But we already have Axel. So unless something is going on and my suspicions are correct, I think Axel needs a run in the team. Honestly, the way Axel was going at one point this year, I thought that Vic was in trouble. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what this injury was. I don't know what happened. It makes me really concerned, to be honest with you. So who would we get? Upamecano would be a top choice. I didn't even look up Upamecano, whether he's a right footer or a left footer. We really need a left-footed center back to bring some balance to our back two. Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz, a lot of people mention him. He makes me nervous because he reminds me of one of those players that constantly get linked to big clubs, but no one ever goes in for him. There's a reason for that. Don't know why it is. Could be something like Hakim Ziyech. Many of you may know this or not, but Ziyech, no one could doubt his talent. The guy is an amazing player. But a lot of people weren't in for Ziyech for a while because he apparently, for a certain season of his life, had a serious attitude problem. And he wasn't easy to work with from some reports I'd read, allegedly. So, I don't know what's going on with Diaz. He just concerns me. I don't know. Would I say no to Diaz? Absolutely not. I mean, we got to get rid of Phil Jones. Chris Smalling we need to sell because he's not going to want to be a rotation player, as I mentioned earlier. Rojo needs to go, and Axel and Eric Bailly are constantly hurt. So we need to bring in a center back. Ruben Diaz, would I be excited for him? Yes. Would I have concerns? Absolutely. The other guy that keeps getting mentioned is Gabriel Margalhães. Ice, because I believe he's Brazilian, right? So if he's Brazilian, that Portuguese, who knows how they pronounce it, but I speak a lot of Spanish, so a lot of times I can tell the difference between Portuguese and Spanish because Portuguese is a lot rougher language and they're eyes and all that. So I would say it's Margalhães. I don't know, but I'm sure he's Brazilian, so he just goes by Gabriel. From what I hear, Arsenal's in for him as well. Arsenal need him more, obviously, because Arsenal need a center back. I'll be honest with you. Unless you want to live in London, why would you pick Arsenal over United? Only London right now, or you really like to coach, which, the jury's still out on Arteta. Everyone's like, well, he won a trophy, man. Arsenal was terrible this year, right? Anyone can get hot in tournaments and win stuff. Arsenal, let's be real honest with ourselves. They played better than Chelsea, but they could have lost that game. If it wasn't for the ref, really helped them a lot. And they always win the FA Cup. It's like it's the National Arsenal Invitational or something. If all you want to do is win the FA Cup, barely make top four, miss out on top four, fail in Europe consistently, then you join Arsenal. Never win the league again, then you join Arsenal. It's just facts, man. I'm not even throwing shade or salt. It's just facts. Honestly, I'm glad as an American that when I was looking for teams and people were giving me suggestions, I'm glad that I was born on February the 6th, baby, which was a horrible day for Manchester United. It's like I was destined to root for United. So here's the thing. I'm glad I picked United. I'm glad I got in. And listen, I love the fact that I came in at a time where we were winning. And people say, well, you're a bandwagoner because we had the good time. I knew we were winning the league every year. However, these last 7 years has made me love the club more because I've had to go through the lean times. It has been lean. But I'm telling you guys, complain about the Glazers all we want to. They are not the best owners. I do feel for Arsenal because Stan Kroenke he's a piece of work, real talk. Not just from soccer, but American football as well. Stan Kroenke is a piece of work. Stan Kroenke is the reason the Oakland Raiders didn't get the ultimate move that they should have got, either back to LA or to America's 7th or 8th largest city, San Antonio. can't get a team. One of the reasons they can't get a team is because of Jerry Jones and his buddy Stan Kroenke. They both came to each other's aid to keep the Oakland Raiders from moving back to LA, because LA's a Raider town, and Kroenke wanted to put his team back in LA. And there is no Raiders in LA is a wrap. You know how that Raiders is a worldwide club, right? If you guys don't know, I'm a Raider fan. So Raiders were going to go to San Antonio, a huge market, which really needs a team like that. It would be amazing success. Jerry Jones and Stan Kroenke blocked those two moves. So that's why the Raiders are in Vegas. And, yeah, I don't like them in Vegas. It is what it is. Got to deal with it. Stan Kroenke, bad owner. Feel bad for you Arsenal fans. But anyway, I kind of don't. Just glad I'm not you. But anyway, here's the thing. We need a new center back. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys think about the people I've said I'd like to see us bring in. Like, obviously, Jaden, we have to get this done. Another midfielder. Really, we need two, but definitely some kind of attacking midfield cover. Would you prefer Grealish or Van de Beek? Or maybe there's somebody else I'm not thinking about. Get in the comments. Who else do we need? Like I said, I would like to see someone else. CDM, not going to happen. And another center back. Who would you like to see partner with Harry Maguire as we go forward? And starting next summer, we really got some big decisions to make about David De Gea and Luke Shaw. But that's a topic for another day. Anyway, it's been Sean Worldwide Red Show. This is my transfer review. What I think we need. Who's going out, please, Ed, and who's coming in. That's what we need. Anyway, if you're new, like, share, subscribe. Give me those thumbs up. Get in the comments. Let me know who you are, where you're watching from. Let's continue to connect as we celebrate the world's greatest club. You already know who it is. Until next time, I'm out.